Well, today's Veterans Day, and I'm sure you're aware of that. And my wife was recently at an appointment, and as she was at this appointment, she's waiting and reading an article in a magazine that is talking from a veteran's perspective what he really feels like Veterans Day has turned into. Now, it was his personal perspective, but I do kind of relate to a lot of what he was talking about. Now, I'm not a veteran, have not served in the military, but I definitely have a son who served in the military. My father-in-law served in the military and retired from the military, and my stepdad was in Vietnam. My uh, real father, was in Vietnam. My grandfather was in World War II. So, like, we do definitely have a military family. So, I really do want to honor veterans, and Veterans Day has really kind of morphed into something a little bit different. Let me explain. So, from my perspective, just going up to a veteran or finding out that someone is a veteran or serves currently in the military or did serve in the military, just going up to them and saying thank you for your service. It's not that they don't want to hear it, but it's almost like you're just saying hey, thanks, and it's not really heartfelt. Let me give you an example. Until the pandemic happened, our family on Christmas morning would go to the VA hospital, and we would just go door to door to each room. Any veteran that was still in the hospital, had not been allowed to leave for surgery reasons or recovery reasons or whatever, we would just go and listen to their stories. And I can remember a story of a veteran telling me one time he was the most important person in the military. He worked in the army and he packed parachutes. I think that's a very important position to have. He packed parachutes. He never went overseas. He never saw the gruesomeness of war, but he packed parachutes like nobody's business. So it's important to know that the military and people in the military aren't just the people that go over and fight wars. They're the people that stay home, and they're here and they're supporting their supply, and they fill in the gaps that are needed. They're mechanics. They're the people that work on the planes. Like, everybody in the military has a role, and everybody should be honored. Well, that brings up another point. Veterans Day is about honoring people who have served. It is not Memorial Day, where we are remembering people who have died for service. Veterans Day is definitely something that you can certainly talk to veterans. It's been over commercialized for sure. And, there's Veterans Day sales and you can get a discount, but who really even, I mean, how many veterans? I don't know a lot of veterans that will actually carry their military ID around them with them all the time. It's got a lot of personal information on it. So sometimes I think veterans feel like they are slighted, not because they can't get a discount or because certain businesses offer discounts and others don't. I think it's veterans and active personnel, they feel like you're only going to think about me once a year or a couple times a year because we wave a flag and have a parade. Parades, they really don't do justice. Um, there are some parades that have, past veterans and they ride in Jeeps, but they've been over politicized. Now it's all about the politicians, and politicians give speeches. As a matter of fact, this article that my wife had read talked about what if instead of the mayor of the city speaking, who never served in the military, he invited the janitor that works at the school that served in the military through a war and had him give the speech. How cool would that be? My challenge to you is, if you're going to see somebody today and you want to say Happy Veterans Day, why don't you ask them a question? Ask them what branch they served in. Find out if they were in the Air Force and did they fly, or did they go overseas? What did they do when they were there? Find out a story about them, because that is truly honoring a veteran. Thanks. I hope everybody has a wonderful Veterans Day. Thank you if you are a veteran and you have served or you are current active military. We salute you for sure. Thank you for your service. Feel free to put comments in below. Let me know where you served or are serving, where you're overseas or whatever. I'll be glad and honored to celebrate you today. Have a great day.